I did a post where I talked about black men who view black women as disposable once they use them for their resources. And I want to answer a commenter based off of that. Hi, my name is Dr. Natalie Jones. I'm a licensed therapist, and I obviously have a bird co-host. But anyhow, this commenter says, why do black men choose white women for status and white men choose black women for status? Do black men not realize the real status symbols? And I love this question so much. And so I want to preface this by saying this is not all black men, not all white people, not all, you guys get the gist of what I'm saying. But for those who this applies to, you know who you are. One of the things, what I will say is this: when you have people that are insecure, they have low racial self-esteem, and someone who has low racial esteem will target others within their own race and try to humiliate, humble them, mistreat them, say that they're not worthy because they're black, or I hate all black this, or I hate all that. So that kind of gives you an idea of within our own race of someone who has low self-esteem. But people who have low racial self-esteem are usually very insecure in nature. They're very immature in nature. And so when you have that, you have people that don't know how to treasure what they have in front of them. And it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if they get with a white woman who has status or not. A boy who is in a man's body will never know how to treasure and understand what he has in front of him. Instead, what a boy is going to focus on is how he doesn't measure up and how he can cut said person down to size, or how he can compete and show her who's the man. He won't be able to keep his ego in check because he's insecure. Someone who is very secure with themselves recognizes the potential, and also has the security, the masculinity within themselves in order to direct and to lead and to provide that foundation and to provide that safety. And a good example of this, and I don't know if the woman was black or not, or she was like biracial or something. I don't know what she was, but it appeared to be an interracial couple. I'll say that on the Netflix show Blue Therapy. And I've talked about this before on that show. That black man, all he could think about was how much less he made. How much money his girlfriend made versus him, who didn't make much money. And he made her pay for it that entire time that they were in couples therapy. He talked about her car. He was going to the car dealership to look at a car just like hers and keeping secrets about finances and things like that. That became the scope of their relationship, despite them having a child. Despite her trying to build and her never asking him for money, her paying 70% of the expenses. He viewed that as emasculating. Meanwhile, he wasn't contributing. So while he can harp and holler all day about how it's being emasculating, he's not contributing. And so she doesn't have any choice but to pay for said bills. And not only was she doing that, but she also felt he had also conditioned her to make her believe like it was a problem if she wanted to bring up finances. Like, you're just trying to keep a brother down. You ain't trying to build. So if she would ask any questions about finances, he would immediately hop into defense mode and antagonize her to the point where it just, she was damned if she did and damned if she didn't. He's not looking at the fact he's got a beautiful family. he's got a woman that loves and treasures him. He has a child, and at the end of it, he had a second child on the way. He's got all these people that are dependent on him and want to love them and be there for him, but all he can focus on is how much he lacks. And I think that principle very much applies here. It's like, you know, there are a lot of Black women, wonderful Black women, who are excellent status symbols, and who have tried to make it work with Black men. But if that man lacks emotional maturity, if he lacks a racial self-esteem, if he is just very insecure and is focused on the wrong things, if he's focused too much on his penis, you know, all those kinds of things, if he is never, ever, ever going to see the potential in that relationship, not until he gets serious and gets, you know, gets his behind in therapy and does the work without his mama or somebody being on his case. When he sees it and he's like, oh, you know what, I'm going to make a step to change. And a lot of men, and I've done this before, way back yonder, a lot of men don't do this or don't realize this until they're on their deathbed and they're singing a bunch of sob stories because they don't have anybody there, not even their children, who don't want to be bothered with them anymore. So, you know, they don't see the status, but I'll tell you this much, and I'm going to leave you with this. They don't need to see the status. Black women need to see their own status each day, every single day. And that way, no one can tell Black women what they are or what they are not. So you need to realize that you are the star, that you are worthy of all the things, and nobody can take away what you believe about yourself. And nobody can give it to you, because you won't need that reassurance. You won't need that validation from outside of the relationship, because you already have it within. And therefore, you will be so ready to hop, skip, jump, and walk away from any man that doesn't see that within you. So I hope that helps. Thanks so much, because you put 2 great comments on this post today, and I've answered both, and I really like this conversation. Thank you so much.